Hello YouTube! So as you can see, today I have no makeup on and I'm going to be doing a get ready with me, and it's going to be a get ready with me for a Zoom call. Yeah, because this is the life now. This is the new normal. Quarantine things, baby. So the reason why I'm getting ready for a Zoom call is because it's my friend's 24th today and she wants everyone to be like glammed up and ready to celebrate her. And yeah, she says there's no reason why we shouldn't like dress and wear makeup this way that we would have done if it wasn't for the whole coronavirus, if it wasn't for the whole lockdown thing. And yeah, so basically that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to be getting ready for a Zoom call. I don't even know what look I'm going to do. No, I know what look I'm gonna do. And today's get ready with me is also gonna be a get ready with me / story time. So yeah. Okay, so since it's gonna be a get ready with me / story time, this story time is going to be like a bunch of mini story times. It's going to be like sort of like crazy drunk experiences I have had in college. They're really funny and I thought I should share them with you guys today as I do my makeup. These are all story times with a friend of mine, and I'm not gonna say her name, but let's just call her Jay. Okay, so let's get started. So usually before I start my makeup, I think you guys noticed I like to do my brows and I like to prep my skin. So for skin prep, as you guys know, I'm already coming at you with a clean face. So my skincare routine is pretty standard. It is cleanser, toner, and then moisturizer, and I do this morning and night or after makeup. So I already had moisturized my skin, but I'm going to go in with this Majuka oil from Tarte. And I'm just going to use a little bit. We're going to lather it, and then we're going to do it here. I usually avoid my nose and my T-zone because that's where I'm oily, but I put it on my cheeks because I get pretty dry patches around there, and here, and my forehead. So I like to do this before I start anything because I like to let the oil kind of seep into my skin, and so that my face isn't too slippery before we start my makeup. Anyway, so while we let the oil seep into the skin, what we're going to do is we're going to start on brows. So I have like a list here of like crazy things we've done. I had 3 like little mini stories, and this first story, I remember this story because I remember it was kind of like, you know, the Snapchat memories thing, and like basically I was on Snapchat and I was just scrolling through shit, right? And then you know how Snapchat does that whole like, on this day last year you did this, and basically it popped up in my story, and I just remember cracking up at like the story and just posting in my story and be like, oh, this was funny. And then my friend responded, holy shit, I remember that day, and we talk about that day, and I thought this would be such a funny story time. So basically that's how this video come to be. Anyway, so this story was on, I think, I forgot what it was. I forgot why we were out, but it was like a daytime as well, and I think I was meant to go to uni. I don't know if this was a weekend. I think I was meant to go to uni, but somehow I just didn't want to go, I think. And I ended up meeting this friend of mine, who's still my friend today, and with that friend that was responded to the story and be like, that day was crazy. So anyway, came back with a drink. This is Bailey's with almond milk. I just love how I put almond milk. Like, yeah, it's vegan. Like, Bailey's doesn't have cream in it. I'm not vegan. I just thought, ooh, healthy. But then there's Bailey's in this. Why is there Bailey's in this? Like I said, it's a Zoom call for a birthday party. I'm gonna get lit. This is my Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. This is how it looks like. It's pretty crusty, but I've been using this for almost 2 years, and it's never failed me. So I will trust this product till the end of time. Anyway, where was I going with the story? So yeah, this was just like a normal, regular day, I think, and me and this girl Jay, let's call her Jay. Me and Jay, we basically decided to get a drink together, and I forgot what happened. And I think I wanted her to come out. I think I was just like wanting to hang out. I wanted to go for a drink. I was like craving a drink. And I think this was in April, so that's around autumn in New Zealand. But it was pretty hot day for autumn, so I was just like, it's a lovely day, why don't we go out, you know, day drink, have a cute little moment. So we did. We ended up going to this place, and I'm not gonna say the name of the restaurant because oh god, I could get arrested if like the restaurant knew. Fuck. Anyway, me and Jay, we ended up going to this place, and it's like a nice ass like a rooftop bar situation, and it's a really nice place, but it is expensive, and I was treating her to a drink. So I was just, and like, it's like, this place is like fancy expensive. It's like $18 for a fucking cocktail. But that's usually pretty standard in Auckland. Like, Auckland is just an expensive place to live. It's $18 for like a pretty basic ass cocktail. Like, it'll be $18 for an espresso martini, and like, sweetie, I can make that at home. But anyway, so it's an expensive place, and we came in and we were just like, yeah, like, why don't we just go for like a quick drink? And I was treating her to the drink, and even though it's $18, the drink was pretty strong, not gonna lie. Like, for $18, that shit got me drunk. Like, we were pretty tipsy, and then we were like, one thing that me and Jay like to do when we're out together is that our energy is so like unreal. We're able to talk to anybody, talk to strangers, and one of our favorite things to do is, because we live in Auckland, and me and Jay, she's Filipino, but she also have an American accent like I do, and because we have an American accent in a place where most people speak differently, they speak with a Kiwi accent, we thought, why don't we just like pretend that we're like foreigners? So there's these two guys, I think 3 guys? I forgot how many people were there. This was a while ago, and I have a pretty bad memory. But I think there were like 3 guys that were just like chilling in this table next to us. And for some reason, I don't know who did it. I don't know if I did it or she did it. But for some reason, we just started chatting them up, and we were just like, yeah, we're American tourists, just being like, what? And these guys are like old. These guys are like grandpa. It's like 50-year-old men. Yeah, I know. But we don't really like take that into consideration. Like, me and Jay, we're literally crazy. We don't care. Like, we're just kind of like there for the vibe, there for the story. Like, we don't think through things being like, oh, we actually want to like get to know them. We think through things and think this would make a great story time. Oh god. So me and Jay were like chatting to these 3 old guys, and I remember the thing about Jay is that she's fearless, okay? When I want a guy to buy me a drink, I am at least a little bit more subtle about it. Like, I try to like ask them where they're from, like get a conversation starting, and then I would just be like, oh, like, what are you, one of my favorite tactics to get a guy to buy me a drink, I would just be like, hey, so like, what are you drinking? And I'll be like, oh, can I try? And usually they either offer me a sip or they offer me to buy me a drink, which is pro tip ladies, that's how you get guys to buy you a drink without like actually asking them to buy you a drink. Yeah. So me and Jay, we're like basically trying to scam them at this point. And Jay was just like, this guy, one of the guys from your table was like, hey, can I buy you a drink, to Jay? And she was like, yeah, sure, but you have to buy my friend a drink too. And that's Jay. Like, when I said that I'm a bit more subtle about like asking people for things, like that's what I mean, like bread. But Jay had literally, oh my god, she'd done this on nights out when we were drunk. And now Jay has a boyfriend, but this was when she would back when she was single. She used to go up to guys and be like, buy me a drink. And the funniest thing is that like 5 out of 10 times it would work, which are pretty good odds. And mind you, Jay's hot, but like, yeah. So she basically asked him to buy 2 of us a drink, and he went and to go do that. And we got our drink, and we were finishing with our second drink, and we told those guys who were on the next table with us, who were just 3 of them were just like chilling, vibing. So they paid for 2 of our drinks, and we haven't paid for the 2 drinks that I was planning to buy for 2 of us. So we went to the bathroom, and this was just a legitimate reason, like we just needed to go to the bathroom. And Oh god. This whole story time is just me like incriminating myself. Anyway, so we went to the bathroom and we're just chilling, vibing, you know, being like drunk girls in the bathroom at like 3 p.m. on like a Friday, maybe. I think it was a Friday. It was definitely a Friday. And then she was just like, I don't know if Jay suggested this or I did, but like basically we were just like, what if we walked out of here without paying for a bill? Pretty much, I think I was the one who suggested it. I don't know. Did I suggest it? Yes, I did. I did suggest it that we walk out without paying my bills. Because I'm a felon. Well, I actually, either we walked out without paying the restaurant, or we walked out and left those 3 guys that were sitting next to us who bought us drinks without a bill. $36 worth of drink. Not exactly like high-flying theft, but like not exactly like Virgin Mary either. So before we get back into the story, what I'm doing right now is I'm just carving my brows. So obviously, so that's the first story basically, on the basis of basically how like dumb I was. And I say this like this was a long time ago, but it was actually just last year. God, me and Jay, we were honestly so crazy, like just psycho fucking bitches, like psychopaths. Who does that? Like who skips on a bill and just leaves it to random guys they just met like that day? Like sure, they're like old guys, but they're like nice guys. They like bought us drinks and like try to like have a conversation. They weren't even being creepy, and we just left them with a bill of our drinks. Well, either they paid for it or the restaurant just forgot to charge us. And like, because no one stopped us from leaving. Like, we just left. It was just that easy. Mind you, it was a pretty like busy day. So I guess that's why like they didn't really like know. And I guess they think that like those guys were part of our table. And so they think, oh yeah, no problem that they left. Okay, so if you're wondering why the camera quality changed and why the audio dropped, it's because I switched to photo booth because the card memory on my camera is full and I'm too lazy to upload it first all onto my laptop and then film again. So I'm no time for that, so basically this is what you're gonna get. So I was in the middle of carving my brows and explaining basically how I feel about coral, like colorful colors on my face. So yeah, like I said, I feel like coral lipstick and fuchsia and those colors make me feel and look like a clown. But then I saw this like gorgeous photo that Makeup by Ariel posted of Kylie with like a pretty similar color, like a coral lip. And I thought I could do something like that and maybe give it a try. So yeah, this is a get ready with me / trying something new for the first time with my makeup. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, pretty much that's the first story that I wanted to tell you guys of a time that me and my friend skipped out on a bill or like leave it to a bunch of strangers who bought us drinks to pay for it. Man, I'm a terrible person. Anyway, should I get into the second story first, or should I just like carve out my brows first? I should carve out my brows first. And I can see from her eyes, it's just very like soft glam and like, because it's a coral lip, I think she just go for a really simple eye. So, nothing special there. But it's very like, the thing with Makeup by Ariel is all his looks are pretty like soft glam and just very like sculpted. Like he's very good in complexion, and not that he's not good about anything else, but he's most recognizable of how well he can sculpt and like set and how airbrush he makes the skin look, which I think is his real specialty. Like every single time there's a photo of like Kylie, she just looks so like, I guess that's because she's also had like surgery that made her look. Now we're gonna go in with this like crusty ass brow gel from Estee Lauder. I had it like 3 years ago. Honestly, I need to update my brow products. Like I've been using the same brow product since 2017. But like my eyebrows look good, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. So as you know, I've already put my oil on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with primer. This is the one by Becca. It's the Skin Love. It's a mini version, but it does the job because I have pretty big pores, and it does pretty well in like blurring everything. So I learned this hack from TikTok. It's that viral foundation hack. It's actually life-changing. So, but I do the order differently. So I put my moisturizer ready. I did that when I cleansed my face. I put on my face oil just to give it that nice glow. And then now what I'm going to do is I put primer. Now what I'm going to go in with is the Ben Nye setting powder. This is the neutral set in colorless powder. Not too much, by the way. It literally looked like it just dust cocaine in my hand. Love that. So, I should probably get into the second story time, hey. While I do my foundation. Well, let me see what the second story time is. Oof. Yikes. Okay, so this story... Oh my god, I don't know how much of this I should tell. I don't know how much of this can I tell. I hope my mom doesn't watch this. Because oh man, I would be dead if my mom watched this. Okay. So once the setting powder is all set, I go in with my setting spray. And this one's from Morphe. It's the pink Jeffree Star one. It's honestly bomb. And it smells bomb too. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, this story. Ooh, it's a doozy. So I want to clarify that this was going through, all of these stories take part at a time when me and Jay just became friends. And we were just both like crazy ass bitches who have no limit of stop. Have no sense of like self-control, discipline. We were just partying really, really hard. And when you party really, really hard, you kind of get some crazy ass stories from it. Like, it's just a whole ass trip, I guess. Get into foundation first before I get into the story. It's a bit of a wild one. So I'm going to be mixing my Marc Jacobs and my Laura Mercier. My favorite foundation of all time is this one, but this is running out. And this is a lot darker than my original skin tone because I have not been tanning because I've been outside all day. So this is usually what my skin usually looks like, which is this Marc Jacobs one. But I don't like the finish of the Marc Jacobs one. I know it's a gorgeous foundation, don't get me wrong. It's really full coverage. It will make you look. But it's just too matte for me, and I come to find that I actually don't like that look. I prefer like a soft matte finish instead. I don't know why. I just do. I think this foundation is just so flawless, but it is not my skin tone. It was me in summer. Anyway, so this story was at a time when me and, oh god, yeah, this shit is broken. Like, this shit is broken. Like, I'm just gonna have to throw this away. I'm gonna just have to throw it away. Nah. I'm probably gonna order a new one. Nah. I'm gonna finish all of my foundations first. I'm trying to finish all my tubes of foundation and then, like, settle on one brand. Let me know which one you guys use. I'm trying to, like, sample all the brands of foundation just to find one that I really like. I might try the new Hourglass one. Who knows? Maybe even the NARS one? So, this story happened during, like, one of the wildest, periods of my life. I was going through something. Like, I was suffering through a boy. And it wasn't even, like, a breakup. It was just, like, this boy dicking me around for, like, 4 months. And it was pretty shit because it wasn't traumatic, but it was just, like, this guy. One guy who I was going through who had the power to make me feel shit about myself. So I was really, like, partying just to kind of, like... The thing about me is that I'm one of those people who numbs out the pain. When I'm going through something, I don't deal with it. I just party it away and just don't deal with it. Because I'd rather not deal with it than, like, face the hurt. So keep in mind, like, I was going through, like, some pretty, like, shit. Some pretty, like, dumb shit when this happened. But, yeah, I was going through my craziest time. So this story was... I think it began like a regular night out. And I remember this night specifically because me and Jay, we were wearing outfits that were like neon, and we were like, oh my god. And I remember the Snapchat caption for the photo that I posted. I'm going to show you photos. So the photos that I posted on my Snapchat, on my Instagram, with the caption like, the vibe tonight is like Office Max highlighters. And I remember thinking that was the funniest shit ever. And it still kind of is. Like, I remember this night because I remember just wearing my neon outfit and thinking I was like the cutest bitch ever. The funniest thing is that now I actually have this dress that Jay was wearing in her neon pic. Not that I bought a version of that. Not that I bought the same outfit. She gave it to me. But, yeah. So, to give you some context to the story, I remember this day so clearly because we were wearing both neon outfits on a night out. So, we thought it was going to be a pretty regular night out. But, we were really, like, elevating it by, like, okay, this is bad. I don't know if I even should admit this. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. So we were doing Molly.
Asian, Bible girl.
Okay, so we did Molly and that night, and it was fun. Like, I've been on it quite a few times, and through this period, we were doing so much of it that I was honestly scared for us. We didn't give a shit because, like, if you've done it before, you know that the come down, like, gives you, like, clinical depression. So, but we didn't care. We were just like, I mean, can't lose all the serotonin in your brain if you have none to begin with. So, it was this night where we did it, and basically, I didn't know if we dropped it early. Did we drop it early? I think we only had, like, one cap with us, I think. I don't know. The thing about us is that we do take it, but we're smart about it.
I think.
Oh, God. I hate the story. I hate that I'm doing this story. I hate that I'm even considering about, like, talking about this. But this story is so fucking wild and so fucking funny that, like, it'd be a crime not to. So, basically, we were taking Molly, and it was at the start of the night. I think by the time this happened, when we first dropped it, and when we first went into the club, it was like 10 p.m., and it was pretty empty. And I remember we just went to the balcony, and one of the things that me and Jay like to do on the night out is we are social smokers. And not that you should ever smoke. You shouldn't. But yeah, I like to enjoy the occasional cigarette on the night out. So we went out to the balcony and to share smoke, and then we saw these guys who were also out by the balcony. And mind you, at this point of the night, it was just like us and a few guys at the club. It was pretty early. The thing about Auckland Club is that it doesn't pop off till like midnight, so we were there like early. Okay, so I hate this night. I fucking hate this night. I hate talking about this night, but I also love talking about this night, clearly. Or not, I wouldn't be sharing with you guys. I always share this story with all of my friends, and they always crack up at it. But anyway, so we bumped into these guys, and they were just like, oh, hey, what's up? And one of the guys that were with them looks like Drake. Like, no cap, looks like Drake. I would show you a photo, but that's like an invasion of his privacy. But I can show you a photo we took with him, me and Jay. So this is the photo we took with him, and he really does look like Drake. And mind you, Jay at this point, she's not only just on M, she was also like pretty drunk, and I think because it hasn't hit her first, that the drunkenness took over. And when she's drunk, bitch is messy, but like in a fun way. Like, she's messy in a fun way. I'm messy in a bad way. Like, the stories that people tell me about what I'm like to take care of when I'm drunk, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry for existing. So I'm using this Fenty Beauty matchstick to contour, and this is in the shade Truffle. So Jay was pretty drunk, and she was really into this guy who looked like Drake. And I remember just telling him he's ugly. He doesn't actually is Drake. It's fine if he's Drake, but he's not Drake. sweetie, don't do this to yourself. But she was really into him, and she really wanted him. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so this guy, he was just, like, all over her, and he was trying to, like, grab me. You know when guys do that when they're at the club? They're just like, and you're just like, no, I want it. I want you. And so he was basically, I think he was just trying to get, like, a threesome. Out of all guys are just, like, of course you are. But I wasn't into it, and I was just like, no. And I hate this story. I hate this story. I'm just trying to, like, mimic my contour towards, like, Kylie in the photo, because she just looks... So, basically, he was just trying to get with the two of us. And then he said something to her, and then she was like, oh, come with me. I think we're gonna go do, like, more M. And, like... or something like that. And I just remember, like, oh yeah, cool. Okay, sweet, I'll come with you guys. So he took us toward the downstairs part of the club. And I know what... well, technically this club is now closed, so I guess I can say the name. It's 1885. So the way how 1885 is, there is the main level where, like, the minute you come in, this is what you see. And then there's the upstairs level, which is the champagne room, and that's, like, VIP. You book a table, spend $500 here, and you can get a table. And then there's the basement level, which I think is, like, another name for it. I think you have to be, like, a VIP member for it, even though it literally looked like a place, like, I would get killed at. After we put the contour stick, I like to go in with, like, another contour thing. This is a mini version of the Too Faced bronzer, and I just kind of like to do this in a way to set the contour and, like, darken it up, I guess, just to make it more even, more. Okay, following them down toward the basement, right? And they took me to the bathroom, and I thought we were going to go to the bathroom to, like, do another line or do another, like, hit. I was sorely mistaken, because what happened was, I hate this part. I can't, like, honestly, this gives me trauma. Like, this is my sleep paralysis demon. Like, I, to this day, am still, like, traumatized from what happened. Okay, so now that we got the contour all set up, what I'm going to do is, you see that line right there that I let dry and set? I'm going to go in and blend that, and then we're going to start getting ready to set and bake, baby. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the same Too Faced bronzer, and we're going to contour my nose. And I like to bring my contour up to that place, just to give my eye more, like, dimension. And so, you know what, I thought, so basically, I followed him into the bathroom, thinking we were just going to do another, like, hit or something. What ended up happening with that, I remember I locked the door, I turned around, and then Jay's just, like, lying on the bathroom, legs up, and he, like, lifted her skirt, and he was, like, eating her out, and I was just like,
Oh.
my mistake. And I just remember, like, freaking out. I was just like, oh shit. I was trying to unlock the door, and then, like, I came out, and I just remember, like, what the fuck? Thought we were gonna do, like, wholesome shit. Not this. Didn't sign up for this. And the story doesn't even end there. Like, it doesn't say that it gets crazier, but it just gets, like, more insane. So I ended up going back up to the balcony, and I remember, like, going up to this guy's friend and just being like, you wouldn't believe what I just saw. Like, eventually they came out, and they only took, like, 10 minutes, but still, like, that was the most traumatic 30 seconds of my life. Like, I didn't intend to, like, get to see that. What the hell? So now that I contour my nose, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set and we're gonna bake. And I like to set with this brush because it's tiny, and I don't like to bake my under eye. What I like to do instead is I like to set it, because I feel like because this is so white that if I bake my under eyes, it just makes me look ghostly and, like, too pale. But I do bake my nose area, like, here, and I also bake, like, here. So we're gonna set this shit, and then I'm gonna continue on with my story. Face looks so, like, airbrushed right now. Like, I wish you guys could see this up close, because My skin has never looked this airbrushed since I've started like doing that foundation trick, and honestly it changed my life. I'm gonna carve out my smile lines. Okay, so she came back with this guy, and she was just like, oh my god, I'm so sorry you had to stumble upon that. I'm just like, bitch, don't ever do that to me again. I thought we were going down to like top up. And so this guy says like, hey, why don't we go to the strip club? This Drake lookalike guy was like, why don't we go to the strip club? And I was just like, looking at her like, should we? And he's like, yeah, I'll like pay for the cab there. I'll pay for your entry. And we're just like, sure, why not? Let's go. There we go. So here's a big here. So we ended up going to the strip club with this Drake guy. And we went to this strip club is like not super far away. It's like up the street, but we just didn't want to walk. So we took an Uber there, and I just remember taking a photo of her making out with this guy, and I had the caption, bitch, I'm not drunk. And so we went to the strip club, and he paid for our entry, and I just remember like making like friends, like BFFs with the strippers. We were like, I'm like, oh my god, bitch, you're so hot. And she's like, oh my god, bitch, you're so hot. And basically, this guy ended up leaving us, and so we were just in the strip club. Like Jay spent $100 in the strip club so that she can get cash for these girls. And she was just throwing it in the air at these girls, like being like, "Yeah, bitch, work it." And we were really living our best lives. So basically, that's the end of my second story. I'm exhausted just from telling all these story times, guys. Like, I'm done. I'm over myself. So let's get into eyes, and for soft glam, you basically just want to contour your eye, and she doesn't have a lot on. I can't really see it because the hair is kind of covering it, but I think she has like a cold kind of brown color, and so for that we're going to go into the James Charles palette. Look at me, beauty guru. So we're going to dip into this color right here. Yeah, beauty guru, but like I have a cracked James Charles mirror. Love that. So yeah, that's the end of story 2. Story 3 is just, it's not as wild as story 2. I think story 2, to this day, it's not the wildest story I've ever had. I have wilder stories, but to get into that story, I need to be drunk to tell that story time, and so it's never going to happen. Like, you cannot make me tell the wildest story, wildest, like, story I have of, like, being on, like, substances. 2019 was just a wild year for me. As you can see, it's a very dark color, so you want to soften this up a little bit because, like, I went too hard. Like, this is just too pigmented. I look like I just did coke. Anyway, yeah, so, like, that's one of the funny, like, wow stories that I've had about. It's just funny to me because every single time, like, Jay tells that story to her workmates, they're just like, oh, poor Val. Like, she didn't ask for that. She didn't, like, ask to be scarred for life. And yeah, Jay, I didn't. I really didn't. Okay, so this is not, like, what she did. No. But this is what we're going with. We should just rub off the whole eye look. Oh, I hate this. Whatever. We're going with it. So, just dip very softly. I thought this wouldn't be as pigmented as I hope it'd be, but it turns out it's just super pigmented. But yeah. So story 3 is another, like, funny, like, drunk, like, story. And this was probably, like, the funniest one to date. A lot of this has to do with Jay, and it's because Jay is my best friend. Like I said, this is another story that has to do with Jay, and that's because Jay's like a crazy ass bitch, like, no cap. But now she's like with a boyfriend and like domestic. I'm still crazy because I'm still making those crazy memories that are just funny. I'm just like so crazy.
Honestly, I don't remember. I was probably fucked up. Yeah, I was crazy back then.
This is a soft glam look. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is a cut crease because I don't know where this eye look is going anymore. You know what? I don't have the brush to do a cut crease, but you know what? I'm just gonna YOLO this. Not that you should do this, but I am gonna do it because I can't be fucked, and I just need to get this eye look done. And yeah, so this is gonna be a really messy eye cut crease. I'm just going in with a concealer and just blending that out. And unfortunately, that's how I look. Honestly, I'm just YOLOing like all of this, and I don't know what I'm doing. So if you guys would like to offer some guidance, that'd be great. So I'm gonna use a fluffy brush, and we're just gonna dip in this, and we're gonna go where the concealer was. And honestly, I thought this would be a softer look, but then this shadow is literally just too pigmented. I guess the problem is I just don't know like the color of shadows. But that's the eye look that we're gonna do today, and that's what you're gonna get, team. And now what we're gonna do is a liner. And I need absolute focus for this, so I'm not gonna talk. I just love how liner just changes a bitch. Like, without liner, I am nobody. Like, soft. Ooh. And that's the liner, guys. You guys are wondering what liner I used. This is Tarte. It is so good for the price I pay. I paid $20 for this, and it came with like lashes and lash glue. It was because it was on sale and it was like a Christmas time package, but probably one of the best purchases I've made in my whole life. Now that liner is done, I'm not going to go into mascara first because I need to wipe off the bake and put like cheek shit. But while I do that, I'm going to tell you the third story. So the third story is basically a Valentine's Day bender that I went on with Jay. And this was at a time when we first just became friends. So to give you like context to Jay and I friendship, we actually became internet friends first. And I found her on Bumble, I think. And this was because I was going through like a really hard time with my old friend group, the people who I used to be friends with, the people who I was friends with first when I first moved to New Zealand. And I was just having a really tough time with that group, and I just wasn't really feeling at home in New Zealand. And so I just went on Bumble Friends and like just, asked around looking for people like to just hang out with. So I stumbled into Jay's profile on Bumble, and then I messaged her on Instagram. I just hit her on Instagram. It was pretty like, how like small talk goes for like first appearance. And I remember the reason why we became friends was because I posted a story of basically just me like coming from a guy's place after like a dick appointment, and like this guy, this fucking asshole, like he like came inside of me without like asking me if I was on anything, like any birth control, anything, and I just remember just being so pissed. I was just like, and like freaking out. And then I went to like get the morning after pill, and then I got it and I posted it on my story, and I think the caption was like story of a hoe's life or something like that, and she was like dying. She responded to that and she just like was dying laughing at it. And then that's how we first became friends, and I think from that on we like made plans to meet up, and after we meet up it's like love at first sight. Like, you guys talk about love at first sight, but I'm talking friendship at first sight, baby. And ever since that, we just started hanging out. We were, like, inseparable. Like, we were getting drunk at the beach. That's another funny story, I think. I have so many funny drunk stories that I should tell on Get Ready With Me. Because boy, do I have a collection of shit to tell you. But yeah, that's basically how we first met. Like, we just bonded all of a sudden. Like, it became a friendship. It became, like, this. Anyway, I'm going in with this Maybelline Chick Teen. It's a bit fucked up because, yeah. But this is my blush kind of hack. I go in. It's not really a hack. I don't know if anyone has done this before, but basically put some chick tint on my cheeks first, like a little bit. And this is what I do for my blush. I love blush, so like the more the merrier. And then I go in with this Milani blush. I forgot what the shade is. I would say what it is. It's literally like all scratched up. I think the shade is the Loomed something, but it's the Baked blush. It's the one with the highlighter in it. I used this brush from Mecca. It's technically a contour brush. originally, but I like using this for blush. I don't know why, it's just I like it. And this way, your blush don't take away your foundation and gives you a lot of pigment. I just like the look of like mixing these two together, because in that photo, she just looks like so full of blush, like her cheeks are popping out. And I know how much Kylie loved blush, like she just loved blush. I used to never like blush, and then I got into it, and I just realized how much more youthful it makes me look. Anyway, so that's to give you some context to the story. So this is around when we first met, and I remember this was Valentine's Day, and I was working that day. I remember I worked like a half-day shift, and we wanted to make plans to do like a Galentine's or just celebrate Valentine's Day together, and we both had Tinder dates to go for this. And before Tinder date ended up ditching the two of us, so we were just like, fuck this shit, like, fuck it, like, let's just get together and let's just drink. And this was like a Thursday night as well, which isn't bad, I guess, but at the time I was off uni and she wasn't working, so we were just like, why don't we just get together, drink? And what ended up happening was we went to Albert Park, which is the park in Auckland, and we bought like a bottle of Canterbury cream, which is basically knockoff Bailey's. It was like $14. It tastes sweet and it gets you drunk. We chugged up the whole bottle, just the two of us. And then I have a pretty high tolerance. Not that I have a pretty high tolerance. I think my tolerance is just normal. Hers is ridiculously low. Like she's gotten drunk on just like one bottle of wine before. That was shared between the two of us when I've been stone cold sober, and she's just fucked. See, that's so pretty. So it's not exactly the same shade as she's using. I think she's using a more coral blush, and I'm using more of a peach. Next up is highlight. And for highlight, I noticed that Kylie never does the whole blinding, like, cheek moment. What she likes is, like, a more, like, natural but glowy. Like, you can still see the glow. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this grwm Pearl Light thing, Metro Lights. And basically, it's, like, pearls. We're gonna just dip into this. I use the same brush as the blush, because where she puts it is just kind of like here. So this was Valentine's Day. We split the whole bottle of Canterbury cream between us, and we were just like smashed. Like I was pretty tipsy, but she was smashed. And I remember this day because this was the day we met Harry Jousty. And I remember we were just like, cool, this is dope. Why don't we just go into this? And we went to this bar. I think we went to Dr. Rudy's, did we? I don't know. We were just bar hopping that night. And we kept drinking and drinking and drinking. We went to Holy Moly. We kept drinking and drinking and drinking. We went to 85. Kept drinking and drinking and drinking. And Jay was all over this, like, grown-ass, disgusting, like, 37-year-old man with a, like, beer gut. But for some reason, she was just all over him. And I was just like, sis, what are you doing? No. And I had to, like, haul her away. So Jay basically, her plan for a ride home was that she wanted to get a ride from this guy who she was seeing at the time. And because he lives like where I live. Did he? No, this poor guy, he lived where she lived, like around the same area. And she was like, I can get him to drop you off. And I'm like, sis, I live on the other side of town. Like, just to give you some context, she lived out east and I live up north. And this guy who was coming to pick her up also lived around the east area. And she was just like, no, I can just make him drop you off. And I'm like, sis, I'm up north. It's fine, I can get an Uber home. And she was like, no. We're dropping you off. So she's fucked at this point, and like she could barely like walk. So somehow she still wants to meet up with this guy, and I'm just like, sure, why not? So we get into this guy's car, and he was just like, are you okay? Like, are you? And she was fucked. She was like drunk. She was so fucked that she vomited in his car. This poor guy, he probably just thought like, oh my god, I'm gonna go see a pretty girl and just like, get some. What ended up happening was this poor guy had to like go and drop off her friend that lives on the other side of town, and then this girl just ended up yakking all over my car. And so we got back to my place, and he told me, she's too fucked up to come to mine. I think you need to take her to yours. I'm just like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I took her back into my house, and my parents were up, because at the time it was like 10 p.m. at night. My parents were like, oh, you're home. Wow, nice. And I'm just like, yeah, my friend's pretty fucked up. Can she, like, stay over? And my parents were so nice. My parents were like, yeah, sure, we don't mind. Just put her on the couch. So I put her on the couch, and I felt so bad for this poor guy whose car is, like, now ruined with her vomit. And I spent 20 minutes, no shit, spent 20 minutes cleaning up her vomit in this guy's car who she's seeing. And I'm just like, oh my god, what the hell? So I spent 20 minutes cleaning up her vomit. And then my mom was just, like, seeing her, my friend, Jay. And this is my first time my parents are meeting Jay. And I noticed she has, like, highlight just down her nose. So yeah, that was my first time. That's my parents' first time, like, meeting Jay. And then my mom was just like, oh, she's drunk. There's vomit all over her dress. I think we need to clean her up and then get her into bed. I'm like, yeah, sure. So this was my mom's, like, first time meeting my friend. And we had to haul her into the guest bathroom. Like, rip up her clothes and just help her shower. Like, what the hell? That was so fucked. Oh my god. That's the highlight done. It's looking pretty good, actually. This is turning out really good. Except the eyes are a little bit off. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put lashes off camera and then come back and then apply the coral lipstick. Well, I haven't put on lashes in so long that I haven't felt this bad of a bitch in, like, a hot minute. So these lashes from AliExpress, they're just like 80 cents. They're pretty ratchet, but they make a look. For lip, like I said, it's a coral lip, but I'm not sure if hers is minus that color because it looks a little bit more nudie as well. So I'm going to combine a lip liner. I'm going to use my trusty ass lip liner. This is honestly kind of one of the best lip liners I've ever used. I think my mom gave it to me, so I'm not sure which brand it's from. I think it's Korean, but it lasts so long because the problem with lip liners in me is just that I use pretty cheap ones. I guess that's the problem, but they break all the fucking time, and this one never breaks. Like, I hardly ever even have to sharpen it, and it's so good. So yeah, that's basically the end of story 3. Me ending up having to clean up the puke of my best friend who yacked in a car of a guy she was seeing who just was so nice. Like, he dropped us off halfway across the town. And he didn't get anything in return. Not that, like, you know, but still. Suddenly my lip just looks so much better. Now, let's do a coral lip. I'm not sure if I'm kind of living for the lip color. Like, okay, go off. Okay, I also forgot to do this. I forgot setting spray. Dumb bitch. But I didn't think I need it because I'm literally going to take this off after a Zoom call. But don't forget setting spray. Okay, guys, so I'm all dressed. I'm wearing this silk blouse that I'm not going to tell you where it's from because that's for another video. I'm doing a haul video where this is included in it. But that video is not finished because not everything has arrived yet. So that's pretty much it for today's video. Please comment, subscribe, like, click the notification bell for more. Tell me what you guys want to see more of. Do you guys want me to do more like crazy get ready with me / story time? Or you guys just want to see a story time? I have plenty of like crazy, like fucked up stories that can be told. Some which, no matter how much YouTube pays me, I will never tell. The internet will never know. But without much further ado, yeah. See you next time.